The 1892 no mint mark. Half dollar, also known as the Barber half dollar, stands out as a coin of immense historical importance and collector interest, being the very first year of issue for the Barber series that would go on to circulate for over 2 decades in the United States, and it is highly valued today with a market value of around $100, depending on condition, rarity, and demand. Designed by Charles E. Barber, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, this half dollar was struck in 1892 without a mint mark at the Philadelphia Mint, making it the inaugural issue of this iconic series, and its historical significance makes it especially sought after by collectors who appreciate coins that mark the beginning of a numismatic era. The obverse of the coin features the classic Liberty head design, with Liberty wearing a Phrygian cap and a laurel wreath, symbolizing both freedom and victory, while the word Liberty is inscribed across the headband. Surrounding her image are 13 stars representing the original colonies, along with the date 1892 at the bottom, a simple yet bold layout that remains one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. On the reverse, the coin displays the powerful heraldic eagle, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both military readiness and peace, while above the eagle is the motto, "In God We Trust," and around the edges are inscriptions of United States of America and half dollar, a design meant to evoke national strength and pride, continuing the tradition of patriotic symbolism in U.S. coinage. The coin is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, with a weight of 12.5 grams and a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, making it a substantial coin both in feel and appearance. And because it contains a significant silver content, it also holds intrinsic value, although its rarity and collectability far outweigh its melt value. When first introduced in 1892, the Barber half dollar was met with mixed reactions, as some critics considered the design uninspired compared to earlier Liberty-seated issues, but over time, its place in American coin history has been firmly established as a beloved collectible and a coin of enduring legacy, and being the very first year of the series, the 1892 issue has always drawn special attention. The absence of a mint mark confirms that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary minting facility of the nation, and although millions of half dollars were produced in subsequent years, the 1892 issue is particularly desirable due to its status as the origin point of the Barber half dollar series, making it a cornerstone for anyone building a complete collection of Barber coinage. What makes the 1892 no mint mark half dollar even more appealing is its relative scarcity in high-grade conditions, since most examples circulated heavily during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and finding one in well-preserved condition with clear details and minimal wear is quite rare, which is why the coin can reach market values of $100 or even higher when graded by professional services such as NGC or PCGS. Collectors place great emphasis on the coin's condition, with uncirculated or mint-state examples commanding premium prices, while even circulated specimens remain in demand due to their historical importance. And when combined with the sentimental and aesthetic appeal of its design, the coin continues to attract a strong collector base. Auction records also reflect the enduring desirability of this coin, with well-preserved 1892 Barber half dollars frequently bringing in 4-figure sums, particularly those with sharp strikes, full rims, and original luster, while rare varieties and high-grade certified coins can push values even higher. The market for Barber half dollars in general has remained steady over the years, but coins from the first year of issue, such as the 1892 no mint mark, always stand out, since first-year coins hold a special place in numismatics, often serving as a milestone piece that collectors strive to add to their collections to establish a sense of completeness and connection to history. Beyond just monetary value, owning an 1892 Barber half dollar connects collectors to a fascinating era in American history, a time when the country was rapidly industrializing and preparing for a new century, and the symbolism embedded in the Coin's design reflects the nation's identity at the time, with liberty and the eagle serving as enduring representations of America's ideals. Every small detail of the coin, from the laurel wreath on Liberty's head to the intricate feather patterns on the eagle, tells a story of careful artistry and national pride, and the craftsmanship of Charles E. Barber, though sometimes criticized. In his day, is now appreciated as a significant chapter in the evolution of U.S. coin design. For modern collectors, the 1892 no-mint mark half-dollar represents not only a piece of silver currency, but also a treasured artifact of numismatic history that captures the transition from the liberty-seated design of earlier decades to the bold new style of the Barber era, and this transition is one of the reasons why the coin's appeal has endured for over 130 years. It is also important to note that coins like this hold more than just financial value. They carry cultural and historical weight, acting as tangible connections to the people and events of the past, and each 1892 half-dollar in existence today has traveled through countless hands and seen decades of change, which adds to its mystique and allure. Because of all these factors, its first-year status, its silver content, its iconic design, its relative scarcity in higher grades, and the strong collector demand, the 1892 no-mint mark Barber half-dollar enjoys a robust market value of approximately $100 in today's numismatic market, and coins of especially high quality or certified by trusted grading authorities can fetch significantly more, making it not only a collector's prize but also a sound investment for those who understand. The dynamics of coin collecting. Ultimately, this coin exemplifies what makes numismatics such a captivating field. The blend of artistry, history, rarity, and value, all contained within a single piece of silver that continues to fascinate generations of collectors, and owning, one provides both the satisfaction of holding a historic artifact and the potential for financial appreciation in the evolving market of rare coins. Next up, the 1974 D Mint mark. Half-dollar, part of the Kennedy half-dollar series, holds a special place in American numismatics, representing both a tribute to one of the most beloved U.S. presidents and a fascinating chapter in the evolution of American coinage. And today, its market value in rare conditions and with unique attributes can reach around $1,300, making it not only a collectible of sentimental value, but also a strong asset in the numismatic market. Struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark, the 1974 half-dollar belongs to the series first introduced in 1964, created as a memorial coin following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963, and the design, created by Gilroy Roberts for the obverse and Frank Gasparo for the reverse, became instantly popular, with millions of Americans hoarding these coins as keepsakes rather than spending them, a phenomenon that continues to affect their circulation and availability. The obverse features a bold left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, capturing his youthful energy and forward-looking vision, with the inscriptions "Liberty" around the upper rim and "In God We Trust" split on either side of the portrait, and the date, 1974, clearly displayed at the bottom, while the reverse shows the presidential seal, an intricately detailed heraldic eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows surrounded by 50 stars symbolizing the states, along with the egg inscription United States of America and the denomination half-dollar. The coin was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, with an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of copper-nickel alloy, weighing 11.34 grams and measuring 30.6 millimeters in diameter, replacing the earlier 90% silver composition that was last used for circulation in 1964, although 40% silver versions were minted between 1965 and 1970 for collectors. By 1974, the Kennedy half-dollar was fully established as a regular circulation coin, but despite large mintage figures, the Denver-struck examples have drawn collector attention due to specific varieties, conditions, and market dynamics that, drive their value well beyond face value, particularly when certified in high grades or exhibiting rare errors. While most circulated examples of the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar hold modest numismatic premiums, uncirculated or mint state specimens with high grades certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC can bring substantial prices, especially when they are preserved with full strike details, brilliant luster, and minimal contact marks, and the finest known examples are capable of realizing values up to $1,300 or more in today's collector market. Adding to the intrigue of this coin are notable varieties such as the 1974 D double die obverse, a dramatic era variety where doubling can be seen in the inscriptions, particularly In God We Trust and Liberty, and such varieties. Command premiums far above the regular issue, being highly sought after by error collectors and Kennedy specialists alike, with auction records showing strong demand whenever one appears on the market. This kind of minting anomaly elevates what might otherwise be considered a common date into the realm of high-value collectibles, and it is this combination of rarity, error significance, and collector passion that helps push the market value of some 1974 D Kennedy half-dollars into the four-figure range. The cultural importance of the Kennedy half-dollar also cannot be understated, as it is one of the few U.S. coins to be minted almost continuously for decades with the same design, a testament to the enduring legacy of John F. Kennedy, who remains an iconic figure in American history, and many collectors are drawn to these coins not only for their numismatic value, but also for their personal and historical significance, linking them to a pivotal moment in the nation's history. From a historical perspective, 1974 was an important time in U.S. coinage, as the U.S. Mint was still navigating the transition away from silver coinage, experimenting with clad compositions, and responding to changing public demand, and the Kennedy half-dollar, though produced in large numbers, was increasingly hoarded or ignored in circulation, which ironically preserved more examples in higher grades for collectors today. Collectors of modern U.S. coinage often aim to build complete sets of Kennedy half-dollars from 1964 to the present, and the 1974 D stands out as one of the most collectible dates in the clad series, especially when high-grade certified examples or error varieties are included, making it an essential piece in both beginner and advanced collections. The condition of the coin plays the most significant role in determining its value, with coins graded MS65 and higher becoming much rarer, and those approaching MS67 or beyond being extremely scarce, commanding auction prices that easily exceed $1,000, while proof-like or special strike examples further elevate desirability. For many collectors, the thrill of searching through rolls of half-dollars to uncover a well-preserved 1974 D or even a double die variety is a beloved hobby, connecting them to the excitement of discovery and the possibility of uncovering hidden treasure in everyday currency. The role of grading services like PCGS and NGC cannot be overstated in this regard, as certified grades give collectors confidence and help establish fair market values, and the population reports for the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar reveal just how few examples exist in the highest grades, which explains their substantial market values today. Beyond the numismatic details, it is worth noting that coins like the 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar act as time capsules of the 1970s era, reflecting the mint's evolving technology, the nation's political climate, and the ongoing reverence for President Kennedy, whose memory continues to be honored through this enduring coinage. While many Kennedy half-dollars struck in later years are seen primarily as commemorative or collector's issues, the 1974 D still represents a coin struck with the intent of circulation, tying it directly to American commerce of the time, even if actual circulation was limited due to hoarding and lack of public use. Today, collectors view the 1974 D as a combination of historical keepsake, numismatic variety, and investment opportunity, with the potential for value growth as demand for high-grade and rare varieties continues to rise, and its estimated market Value of $1,300 in select conditions underscores its enduring importance in the hobby. Ultimately, the 1974 D Mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar illustrates the fascinating intersection of history, rarity, artistry, and collector passion, making it a coin that transcends its face value and continues to capture the imagination of numismatists. More than 4 decades after it was struck, and for those fortunate enough to own one, it serves as both a treasured artifact and a financial asset, embodying everything that makes coin collecting such a captivating pursuit. Next up, the 1994 D Mint Mark half-dollar, belonging to the Kennedy half-dollar series, is a remarkable coin that combines modern numismatic interest with a tribute to one of the most influential presidents in American history, and although it was produced in high quantities at the Denver Mint, its market value in exceptional conditions, rare errors, or particularly well-preserved examples can reach as high as $2,500, making it a notable addition to advanced coin collections today. The Kennedy half-dollar series was first introduced in 1964 in the wake of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and it immediately became one of the most popular coin designs ever released by the U.S. Mint, largely because it was a memorial to the fallen leader, and this popularity ensured that most of the coins were hoarded rather than spent, which explains why half-dollars often did not circulate heavily in subsequent years. By 1994, the Kennedy half-dollar was fully established as a modern series, with the obverse still featuring the iconic left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, and the reverse featuring the detailed presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparo, which depicts a heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch with a shield across its chest, encircled by 50 stars, and bearing the inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar. The coin's obverse displays the word liberty arching across the top, the motto In God We Trust, divided around Kennedy's portrait, and the date 1994 at the bottom, while the D Mint Mark, indicating Denver production, is positioned below Kennedy's neck near the truncation of the portrait. Composed of a copper nickel-clad outer layer bonded to a pure copper core, the coin weighs 1134 grams, measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge, making it visually and physically consistent with most modern circulating half-dollars of the post-silver era. Although it no longer contained silver as standard currency, the Kennedy half-dollar continued to enjoy collector interest due to its historical significance, patriotic design, and enduring connection to Kennedy's legacy, and the 1994 D is no exception, especially when examined in the context of rarity and grading. While many examples exist in circulated condition, the scarcity arises when one looks for coins preserved in high mint state grades or coins featuring unusual die varieties and mint errors, which can significantly increase their market value. And it is in such cases that the 1994 D Kennedy half-dollar can command values of $2,500 or even higher, particularly if certified by respected grading services like PCGS or NGC. For example, coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 are extremely rare, and population reports show only a small number of survivors in such pristine conditions, which makes them highly desirable among Kennedy series specialists who strive to assemble registry-quality sets. Furthermore, error varieties such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks in the 1994 D Kennedy half-dollar are highly sought after and can push the value of these coins well beyond standard price ranges, with collectors willing to pay top dollar for unique anomalies that showcase the complexity of minting technology and the occasional mistakes that slip into circulation. The coin also carries cultural and historical significance beyond its numismatic details, as it reflects a period in the early 1990s when the United States Mint was transitioning into a more collector-oriented production system, with half-dollars, largely absent from daily circulation but still produced for rolls, bags, and sets aimed at hobbyists. And the Denver Mint's role in this process produced millions of 1994 D examples, though only a fraction survived in the superior grades that command high premiums today. Collectors often consider the 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar a modern challenge coin, as finding one in top-tier conditions requires patience, luck, or a willingness to invest in certified examples at auction, and auction results over the past decade have shown steady appreciation for high-grade specimens, confirming that the coin has a strong and growing place in the modern numismatic market. The demand is also driven by the enduring appeal of the Kennedy legacy, with collectors across generations drawn to the coin's symbolism and historical meaning, and the design itself has become iconic in American culture, often associated with themes of hope, renewal, and leadership. Unlike earlier Kennedy half-dollars from the 1960s that contained silver, the clad issues like the 1994 D rely more on rarity, condition, and collector demand to drive their value, which makes them particularly interesting as investments, since their premiums are not tied to fluctuating bullion prices, but to the numismatic market itself. The fact that coins, like the 1994 D, when found in exceptional condition, can sell for around $1,500 demonstrates how modern coinage still holds the potential for significant value, proving that collectors should not overlook post-1964 coins in favor of only older issues. Instead, coins like this show that careful study of mint marks, conditions, varieties, and certification can yield surprising treasures in the modern era. Another reason for the coin's desirability lies in the fact that Kennedy half-dollars are among the most actively collected U.S. coins, with a large community of enthusiasts who specialize in building complete sets from every year and mint. And for these collectors, acquiring a high-grade 1994 D is essential for filling a critical spot in the series, particularly when competing in registry sets where the highest-graded examples set apart elite collections from the rest. This competitive drive adds further upward pressure to the coin's market value, ensuring that top examples always attract strong bidding in auctions and private sales. The aesthetic appeal of the coin also contributes to its collectability, as the portrait of Kennedy on the obverse is one of the most finely detailed and instantly recognizable designs in U.S. coinage, and when preserved with full luster, sharp strikes, and minimal blemishes, the coin has an undeniable visual allure that resonates with both casual collectors and advanced numismatists alike. Each well-preserved 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a piece of circulating coinage. It is a piece of history that connects collectors to the legacy of John F. Kennedy, the artistry of U.S. Mint engravers, and the technological capabilities of the Denver Mint at the time, making it both a historical keepsake and a numismatic investment. For collectors, the thrill lies in the hunt for the finest examples, the joy of ownership in acquiring a rare piece, and the satisfaction of knowing that such coins continue to appreciate in both cultural and financial terms. Ultimately, the 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar stands as proof that even modern issues, when properly preserved and studied, can command impressive values, and with a market value of approximately $1,500 in top condition, it remains a highly collectible piece in the broader Kennedy series, embodying the... Next up, the 1908 No Mint Mark. Half-dollar, widely known as part of the Barber half-dollar series, is one of those coins that captures both the artistry and the history of American coinage, standing out as a collector's treasure today with a market value that can reach $800 in high-grade examples, and this value reflects not only its silver content, but also its rarity, historical context, and the strong collector demand that continues to surround Barber coinage more than a century after its minting. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks at the time, the 1908 half-dollar is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 12.5 grams and measuring 30.6 millimeters in diameter, and its intrinsic silver value, while important, is far outweighed by its desirability as a historical numismatic artifact. The Barber half-dollar series, designed by Charles E. Barber, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, was minted from 1892 to 1915, replacing the Liberty-seated design that had dominated American coinage for more than half a century, and although Barber's designs were sometimes criticized during his lifetime for being conservative or uninspired compared to more artistic renditions of liberty, today the Barber half-dollar is deeply appreciated as an iconic representation of American coinage at the turn of the 20th century. On the obverse of the 1908 half-dollar, liberty is depicted facing right, wearing a Phrygian cap of freedom adorned with a laurel wreath, a design that symbolized both liberty and victory, while across the headband is the word Liberty, and around the image are 13 stars representing the original colonies, with the motto, "In God We Trust," positioned above and the date 1908 below, giving the coin a balanced and powerful appearance. The reverse of the coin is equally striking, featuring a heraldic eagle with a shield across its chest, clutching arrows in its left talon and an olive branch in its right, symbolizing the dual capacity for war and peace, while above the eagle appears the motto E Pluribus Unum on a scroll, and around the periphery the inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar complete the patriotic message, with an arc of 13 stars above the eagle. This design drew heavily on earlier American motifs, but was reinterpreted by Barber to create a coin that conveyed national strength and stability, fitting for a period when the United States was asserting its power on the world stage. The year 1908 itself was an important time in American history, as the nation was experiencing rapid industrial growth and preparing to take on an even greater international role, and coins from this era serve as tangible connections to that transformative period. Because the Philadelphia Mint struck large numbers of Barber half-dollars, many circulated heavily in commerce, which means that finding a 1908 half-dollar in well-preserved condition with sharp details is considerably difficult today. And it is precisely this scarcity in higher grades that drives the market value of the coin to around $1,800 or more when certified by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC. Most examples that appear in the marketplace show heavy wear, with the high points of Liberty's hair, the wreath, and the eagle's feathers worn smooth, so uncirculated or mint-state survivors are both rare and highly prized. Collectors who specialize in Barber coinage often place a premium on completing year sets, and the 1908 No Mint Mark half-dollar is a key component of such collections, valued not only as a Philadelphia issue, but also for its role as a representative of the series in the first decade of the 20th century. Auction results consistently show that choice uncirculated examples can bring strong prices, with some pieces exceeding the $1,800 level depending on strike quality, eye appeal, and luster, while proofs of the 1908 half-dollar, which were struck in very limited quantities at the Philadelphia Mint, command even greater premiums and stand as some of the most elegant coins of the series. The cultural importance of the Barber half-dollar also contributes to the value of the 1908 issue, as this coin was part of everyday life in the United States during a formative period in the nation's history, and owning one today allows collectors to hold a piece of that history in their hands, connecting them to the people and events of over a century ago. The combination of historical resonance and tangible silver content makes the 1908 half-dollar not just a collectible, but also an investment, and this dual identity adds to its enduring appeal. For many collectors, the Barber half-dollar series is a challenging set to complete, since so many issues are rare in high grades, and the 1908 No Mint Mark coin is among the dates that strike a balance between availability in lower circulated grades and scarcity in mint state, which makes it both an attainable and desirable goal for hobbyists at multiple levels. The artistry of Charles Barber, once undervalued, is now recognized as a significant part of the evolution of American coin design, bridging the gap between the neoclassical liberty-seated motifs of the mid-19th century and the more modern and elaborate designs that would emerge in the early 20th century with artists like Augustus St. Gaudens, and the 1908 half dollar is a key example of Barber's vision. Every detail of the coin tells a story, from the wreath on Liberty's head, signifying honor and triumph, to the arrows and olive branch in the eagle's talons, symbolizing America's balance of peace and defense, and these details have endured through decades as symbols of American values. The coin also demonstrates the technical skill of the Philadelphia Mint, which, despite limitations of the time, was able to produce coins of remarkable detail and durability. Today, collectors are drawn to the 1908 half dollar not just for its market value, but for the satisfaction of owning a coin that has survived more than 115 years, often through circulation and use, carrying with it the weight of history. The rarity of high-grade examples ensures that values remain strong, and demand continues to rise as new generations of collectors discover the charm and challenge of the Barber series. The market value of $1,900 reflects this sustained demand, particularly for coins with sharp strikes, original surfaces, and certification by trusted grading companies, and as the numismatic market evolves, coins like the 1908 half dollar are expected to continue appreciating due to their combination of scarcity, historical importance, and aesthetic appeal. For advanced collectors, the 1908 no mint mark Barber half dollar is more than just a coin. It is a cornerstone piece that helps define the depth and richness of a collection, and its enduring popularity ensures that it will always hold a special place in the world of numismatics. Ultimately, the 1908 Barber half dollar embodies the perfect mix of history, artistry, rarity, and value, making it one of the most fascinating coins from the early 20th century, and with a market value that can reach $1,900 in top conditions, it remains a test. Next up, the 1976 no mint mark half dollar, often referred to by collectors as part of the bicentennial series, holds a special place in American numismatic history because it represents not only a piece of circulating currency, but also a national celebration of the United States' 200th anniversary of independence. Struck to commemorate the bicentennial in 1976, this half dollar is unique in its design, as it deviates from the standard Kennedy half dollar obverse and reverse imagery. Instead, the coin features a dual-date obverse inscription 1776-1976, which reminds collectors of its commemorative status, and on the reverse, a bold image of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, designed by Seth G. Huntington. The absence of a mint mark on this coin signifies that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where coins traditionally did not carry a mint mark prior to the 1980s. This detail alone makes the 1976 no mint mark half dollar particularly appealing to collectors, who are often drawn to subtle differences and variations in minting practices. Unlike standard Kennedy half dollars produced for circulation, the bicentennial version is heavily collected due to its symbolic meaning, unique design, and the nostalgia it carries for one of the most important milestones in American history. In terms of value, the 1976 no mint mark half dollar has a market price that can reach around $200 in today's collector market, depending largely on the condition and grade of the coin. Coins preserved in uncirculated condition, often still shining with their original luster, tend to command higher prices compared to those that have circulated heavily and show signs of wear. Professional grading by companies such as NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, and PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, can significantly enhance the value of this coin because an officially recognized grade provides authentication, ensures collector confidence, and helps secure stronger prices at auctions or private sales. While millions of these bicentennial half dollars were produced for circulation, what makes individual examples valuable is a combination of factors such as pristine condition, proof-like quality, errors during the minting process, or historical demand within the numismatic community. The estimated $200 market value reflects these characteristics and serves as a reminder that even coins from relatively recent decades can evolve into collectible treasures when tied to national history and unique design changes. The historical importance of the 1976 no-mint mark half-dollar cannot be overstated, as it marks one of the rare times the U.S. Mint altered circulating coinage designs to commemorate a national event. Collectors and the general public alike were drawn to the patriotic imagery and the pride associated with the bicentennial. Many households in the 1970s saved these coins rather than spending them, creating what numismatists refer to as hoarded bicentennial coins. Despite the high mintage, pristine examples remain desirable, particularly since most circulated coins suffered scratches, dulling, and wear from daily use. This coin also offers a fascinating glimpse into how numismatics intersects with broader cultural history, as it is both a financial artifact and a keepsake that connects people to the celebration of 2 centuries of independence. Furthermore, special collector sets containing silver-clad versions of the bicentennial coins were issued by the Mint, which adds another layer of collectability to the series. However, the no-mint mark Philadelphia circulation strikes remain the most widely recognized and accessible entry point for collectors looking to own a piece of America's bicentennial history. The design of the coin itself is worth deeper exploration. On the obverse, the portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, remains intact, but is paired with the commemorative dual date 1776-1976, a reminder of the special occasion the coin represents. The reverse, designed by Seth G. Huntington, showcases Independence Hall, the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence. This imagery reinforces the coin's deep patriotic meaning, making it more than just money. It is an emblem of freedom and historical remembrance. Collectors often note that the sharpness of the engraving and the clarity of details, such as the depiction of Independence Hall and the inscription, United States of America $half, can influence the value of individual specimens. High-grade examples with strong strikes and minimal blemishes have been known to attract significant interest from dedicated collectors, which explains why the market value can reach $200 even for a coin minted in the relatively modern era. Another factor contributing to the value of the 1976 no-mint mark $half is the growing interest in error coins. Minting errors such as double die strikes, off-center designs, planchet flaws, or misaligned dies can turn an ordinary coin into a rare collectible worth far more than its base market price. Some bicentennial $half with such errors have sold for several hundred or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. While the standard no-mint mark $half is valued around $200 in uncirculated or high-grade condition, collectors actively search for unusual varieties that make their collections stand out. This growing fascination with minting errors keeps coins like the bicentennial $half relevant in the modern numismatic marketplace and ensures continued demand among both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts. The significance of this coin also lies in its role in educating new collectors about the value of numismatics beyond mere monetary worth. Owning a 1976 no-mint mark $half serves as a gateway into exploring U.S. history, minting practices, and the art of coin design. Collectors often appreciate not only the intrinsic market value of around $200, but also the intangible worth of holding a tangible artifact that connects them directly to America's bicentennial celebrations. The coin represents the U.S. Mint's ability to blend artistry, history, and commerce into a single object, reminding us that currency can serve as both a tool of daily exchange and a lasting cultural symbol. The continued popularity of this coin underscores the fact that collectors place just as much importance on historical context as they do on rarity and grade. In conclusion, the 1976 no-mint mark $half is far more than an ordinary piece of change. It is a cherished symbol of American pride, historical commemoration, and numismatic value. Its estimated market worth of $200 reflects a combination of collector demand, preserved condition, and the enduring fascination with the bicentennial era. While millions were struck, the absence of a mint mark, the patriotic design, and the historical importance make it a coin that collectors eagerly pursue. Whether graded and encapsulated by professional services or kept safely in a personal collection, this coin continues to remind us of the enduring connection between money and history. For coin enthusiasts, it represents a valuable acquisition, not just in financial terms, but as a piece of living history that continues to resonate with every glance.